Oh, there we go. Hey, everybody. Renee, Body and Mind Strong, wanted to jump on today really quick. Am I doing this right? There you go. For a couple of reasons today. So I wanted to jump on and do a quick video to post. And I wanted to do it here because I am trying out a new shared office space and I'm in the conference room. So I'm going to try it out, see how it works, see if this is a good place to start doing some podcasts and interviews and some of my other work and some of my other stuff that I want to get done. So that's where I'm going on right now here. Got a nice little banana behind me and it's a nice little office. Well, anyways, the main reason I wanted to talk to you is I want to talk about weight loss and how weight loss is not a linear progression, linear process, linear progression. It's not a consistent weight loss. It's some people are lucky enough where they can do a consistent weight loss, but I think for the most of us, it is not consistent. And I wanted to show you the data I have because I actually am a little kind of a data geek, numbers geek. I love Excel. So I decided last month to start tracking my weight every single day, which is something I try not to do because it does really mess with my head. And from the past, I know that. So I was kind of back and forth on it, but I was in a data statistics course. And so I was just like, let's do this. So I jumped on every day. There was a couple days in the first couple of weeks of October I missed. So I did the rest of October and then all of November, every single day. Even when I went down to visit my parents in another town, I took the scale with me. And then as I was writing everything doing my scales, do my weight, I was taking notes on like kind of what was happening the day before, what was going on that day, like how much water did I have before? Did I not drink enough water? Did I start my menstrual cycle or was there something else kind of going on? So I can see that kind of data thing go, so I could see kind of what was going on. So let me show you this. Let me share my screen and let me show you what I am talking about. Here we go. For all you Excel geeks out there like me, here is the sheet I was working off of. This whole sheet is actually my whole fitness plan. There's also stuff on here for runs for my boyfriend. There's my workouts for what I'm planning on doing in the gym, stuff like that. But I, on another sheet, actually wrote down all my data was another sheet. I just moved over this data right here, the day and the weight over to this sheet. So just to kind of keep it a little bit cleaner. So this chart right here, this is me taking it every single day. You see this huge drop. I was at the heaviest. I was retaining a lot of water. And I think part of it was I was just a lot of carbs. I was inflammation. So I dropped it really quick and then I dropped it. I went straight back up. This was like within a week, 2 weeks. This was kind of frustrating. But this is also the week that I started my menstrual cycle. It's not totally consistent, so that's the one little frustrating part with this. But I've noticed that I will drop weight right before my period, and then I will retain it right back up. My body does the weirdest thing. So there's that. But you just see how I go up and down, just kind of up and down. And there were some days I would be really consistent and I just go right back up. I do the same thing I did the day before, but I went back up a little bit, which is really, we're talking not a lot, but I go up a little bit. There was another day in here for cycle, but I know this one right here is another cycle. This one's really weird. Plus this is also that night we had French fries and chicken wings. Boneless chicken wings. And so I think the sodium popped me back up right there, but I'm also starting my cycle again. So I think that's part of it. And I dropped back down today. This was the beginning of I took a diet break, trying just to keep my weight consistent, trying to keep at a maintenance level. And of course I was at my parents' house and they have junk food and cookies, and I'm not a cookie person, but when it's there, I will eat it. But if you're taking a look at this, that's what went back up. However, I was still doing my maintenance stuff and just trying to eat intuitive when I got back, and I just dropped right back down, just eating. And I wasn't tracking all my calories. So I think I was eating more than I probably should have still. but my body just adjusted to it. It was, I think it needed that like kind of push, and then it just uh, realigned itself, I guess maybe we'd say. But I mean, look at this. This is what drives people nuts. I mean, this is every single day. And I was consistent most of this time right here, even though I was going back up, I was consistent with my diet. So this is a really good reason why you don't want to weigh yourself every day. I know I've heard some trainers say you do that because it will keep you on track. But I mean, look at this. This will totally mess with your head, because if you come over here to the once a week weighing, here's this chart from just the once a week, but look at that, except for that crazy first dip. That was just weird. I don't think I should have dropped that low. It was probably dehydration. But look, it's more linear coming down. Couple dips a little bit, but it's not totally smooth, but it looks a little bit nicer than this one, doesn't it? Yes. So this is why I usually recommend once a week just to weigh yourself. Now, I also highly recommend measuring yourself big time, because that will show you progress that the scale doesn't show either. Because let's take a look at this October 23rd right here, that date, and then this date right here, November 15th. So 4 weeks difference, right? Super frustrated. That's 3.5 pounds in between. I mean, I was 4 weeks, 3.5 pounds. Yes, that's still good progress. But everything I was doing, I was getting frustrated. I was like, why am I not losing more? Like, it was just getting nuts, because the week before I was 171. So it was just up and down. But if you take a look here at my measurements, and I do a lot more measurements than everyone else, because I also have more pear shape. So I'm not too concerned with my waist, because my waist has always been smaller, but my belly and thigh area and hip area, this is your hip, I call it, yeah, but your hip area, to me, it's always been bigger. So there's a big difference between these on my body because the way I'm shaped. But if you take a look at it, just 3.5 pounds, and keep in mind, I'm 5'8", so 3.5 pounds is not a lot at all. I'm 5'8", but my waist went down 1.25 inches. My belly went down 1.5 inches. And then my hip area, my ass area went down 3/4 inch, which, yes, I don't want my butt to go down that small, but till I start building some more muscle, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Now, my thigh is a huge part, because I have big thighs too. It went down 1/2 inch, which is huge. And then my calf, which is also doesn't move that much, went down 1/2 inch just between those 4 weeks. So make sure, let me go back to, and let me lose this shared space. There we go. So make sure you measure yourself, whether it's to lose weight, gain muscle. Definitely with weight loss, you definitely want to measure yourself, because I always encourage strength training with weight loss. And if you are happening to build some muscle, which will happen a lot easier for people who are new to strength training and trying to lose weight, or people who are really obese, they can actually build a little bit more muscle mass easier than as they're losing weight. So those are ones definitely you want to take measurements of yourself, because that is going to show more than just the scale. And obviously what I showed you, the day-to-day weighing yourself every single day, unless you can handle it, it's going to drive you nuts. So I recommend once a week. Definitely measure yourself. I would say maybe once a month. If you measure yourself every week, you won't see that big of a difference, because it is a slower progress than some other things. So maybe every 3 to 4 weeks, measure yourself, and then just focus on the healthier eating. Definitely, I recommend strength training to everyone. You don't have to try to build muscle and be all bulky. And little side note, ladies, unless you have a lot of testosterone, you're not going to bulk up easy. Trust me, from someone who I do build muscles, to me, a little bit easier than most women. I'm trying to gain more muscle mass, and it is still a slow process. So don't be afraid of bulking up. Now, quick side note, if you go into the gym, you do some strength training, you will be a little bit bigger coming out, and it's that muscle pump, which does not last. Your muscles are just kind of like, how would I put this? they're kind of not inflamed, but they're swollen. The muscle swell people talk about happens right after you work out, and then it'll go back to normal once it normalizes and balances itself out. So you will be like your pants may be slightly tighter right after a workout, but it won't last. That's just a muscle pump. Those go away. Those do not stay. So trust me, for a lot of us who want them to stay, they don't stay. Trust us. Trust me on that. So make sure you're just eating healthy. Give yourself time for weight loss. It is a slow process, and you want it to be a slow process because losing weight fast increases your chances of gaining it back afterwards. So you want to make sure you keep it off. Plus, you really want to get in the habit of healthier eating because after you lose all that weight, you don't want to go back to your old habits. Otherwise, you definitely will gain your weight back. So take your time, learn new healthy habits that will work for you. And that, everyone's a little bit different on that. So find the healthy habits that work for you, and weigh yourself just once a week and measure yourself once every 3 to 4 weeks. Take measurements. And if you want to have someone else measure you, if you feel a little bit more comfortable with them keeping it consistent. But that's all I have. Give yourself time and, take care of yourself, basically. So that's it. I hope you guys have at least got something out of this video, and I hope you guys are going to have a great day. Make sure you're doing at least one thing today that's going to get you one step closer to one of your goals. All right, I'll see you guys later.